Hello, my name is Miss Jones. I teach elementary school math, and welcome to my channel, Miss Math Jones. Today we're going to be working on third grade, Eureka, Module 4, Lesson 1 homework. The objective for the homework is to relate side lengths to the number of tiles on a side. Let's get started. This lesson is about finding the area. So we are starting to learn how to find the area of shapes. And area is the term or word used to define the amount of space taken up by a flat shape or surface. Area is measured in square units, which means you can count the squares to find the total area, or you can use the formula length times width. Let's get started with number 1. Number 1 says, Ella placed square centimeter tiles on the rectangle below, and then labeled the side lengths. What is the area of her rectangle? Well, it gives you the side lengths. The length is 2 centimeters. The width is 4 centimeters. Let's talk about that formula again. Area is length times width. So, we count the squares that make up the length. 1, 2. 2 squares make up the length. So the length is 2 centimeters. Now, again, area is length times width. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 squares make up the width. So, since area is length times width, then our formula is 2 centimeters times 4 centimeters. That's going to be our equation. And we know that 2 times 4 is 8. Now, you could have also figured that out by just counting the squares. So let's count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means the total area is 8 centimeters. Now, if you need to pause to check your work, go ahead and do that now. Let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says, Kyle uses square centimeter tiles to find the side lengths of the rectangle below. Label each side length, then count the tiles to find the total area. Okay, well, let's start with the length. We're going to count the tiles. 1, we're going straight down. 2, 3, 4. So the length of this rectangle is 4 square centimeter tiles. 4 centimeters in length. Now remember, area is length times width. So I have my length. Now I have to figure out my width. So starting at the upper left-hand corner, I already have the number 1 there. So I start from there. 1, go across. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means my width is 5 centimeters. So I have my length at 4 centimeters and my width at 5 centimeters. So that means my equation is going to be 4 times 5. And what is 4 times 5? Well, if you said 20, you're absolutely correct. So that means that our total area for this rectangle is 20 centimeters. Now would be a good time to go ahead and pause the video to make sure that you have everything written down on your paper or just to check your work. Make sure that your answer matches mine. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 says, Maura uses square inch tiles to find the side lengths of the rectangle below. Label each side length, then find the total area. Okay, so we're going to start with the length first. Okay, that means we're going to count straight down. 1, 2. So that means the length of this rectangle is 2 centimeters. Now we're going to use the same one at the top, the number 1 at the top, to go across to count and figure out the width of this particular rectangle. So we start with 1. The next square would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means that the width of this rectangle is 7 centimeters. All right, now remember, our area formula is length times width. So that means our equation to figure out the total area for this rectangle is going to be 2 times 7. Now, what's 2 times 7? 14. So that means that the total area of this rectangle is 14 centimeters. Now you may want to go ahead and pause the video so that you can write everything down that I have on the screen, or just to check your work against mine to make sure that it's correct. Let's take a look at number 4. Number 4 says each square unit below is 1 square inch. Claire says that the side length of the rectangle below is 3 inches. Tyler says the side length is 5 inches. Who is correct? Explain how you know. Well, let's start by looking at the length or the long side, right? By counting the squares straight down, right? Let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3. So this side is 3 inches, like Claire says. The length is 3 inches, okay? Now, let's check the width. We're going to start at that upper right-hand corner using the number 1 that's already there. And we're going to count going straight across. So we have our 1 there already. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this side is 5 inches, just like Tyler says. So that means that the width is 5 inches. Area is length times width. So our equation for this rectangle would be 3 times 5. And what's 3 times 5? Well, if you said 15, you'd be correct. Now, I know the question wasn't to solve for the area. It was who's correct. But if you look at it, one side is 3 inches and one side is 5 inches. So that means that both are correct because one side is 3 inches and the other side is 5 inches. So both Tyler and Claire are correct. Now you may want to go ahead and pause your video so that you can make sure that you have everything written down on your paper, or to check your work to make sure that your answers are correct. Okay, now for the last question of our homework. Number 5. It says label the unknown side lengths for the rectangle below and then find the area. Explain how you use the lengths provided to find the unknown lengths and area. Okay, so we have the long side, or the length of this rectangle, which is 2 inches. Okay, now let's talk about rectangles. They have two congruent sides. That means that the sides that are across from each other are equal. So if the long side is 2 inches on one side, then that means on the other side, it also has to be 2 inches. And at the top, we have the width, or the wide side, right? So if the wide side is 4 inches at the top, then that means that the wide side at the bottom is also 4 inches. That's what it means to have congruent sides. The sides that are across from each other are equal. They're the exact same. Okay? Now we can go ahead and solve for area. Now, again, the area formula is length times width. So we know that our length is 2 inches and our width is 4 inches. So that means our equation would be 2 times 4. And what is 2 times 4? Well, if you said 8, you'd be absolutely correct. So that means that our total area is 8 inches. All right. Now, you may want to go ahead and pause your video to write everything down, or just to check to make sure that the work that you've already done is actually correct. Lesson 1 homework is complete. Congratulations. I hope this video helped. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.